What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here. Today I'm Joe by Geek 101. Let's try it again. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm keeping this in this video. Screw it. You know, people can get the raw, the real Rhymestyle and Geekdom. We don't have to redo takes, do you, Geekdom?
I never do.
Yeah, same here. You guys can just laugh
like
at that.
Jay-Z, bro. One take.
One take. Yeah. If I screw up and did a one take, then it is what it is. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're discussing the biggest questions in regards to the Future Trunks arc. Now, the reason why I decided to do this video is for two options. Number one, I know you guys have a lot of questions, and you want to hear these set questions. So, whatever those questions might be, drop them in the comment section below. If you want to do multiple ones, please do separate comments. That way, it's a lot easier to go through and read everything. If you do like a big-ass essay of questions, it's going to be kind of hard to scroll through and read everything and respond. So, just do one question per comment. You can do that. And two, it's kind of discuss this Future Trunks arc that's about to start this Saturday, which I know a lot of us are hyped about. Geekdom, how hyped are you?
Very hyped. I'm finally it's come after all the talk, and I think that, and this is what I think a lot of us are hoping for, that this arc of Dragon Ball Super may actually lead to a serious, actual dramatic threat versus just a goof-off tournament and reenactments of the movies.
Yeah, actually, let me ask you a question. In my review video that I posted yesterday, I said that Dragon Ball Z has had a lot of dark moments, and Dragon Ball Super has been lacking that. And a couple people actually said that Dragon Ball Z was never dark. Am I wrong with that?
No, I don't think you're wrong with that at all. But what I think they're referring to is that Toriyama himself has stated that he doesn't like writing dark things.
Right.
Yes. In fact, his comments on the Bardock special was that, you know, it was a very dark special, and I really enjoy watching it, but I would never write something that dark. However, not right after, but shortly after the Bardock special aired, he began the Cell Saga, and the Cell Saga and Trunks' future is really dark. But I will say the anime version of the Trunks special, The History of Trunks, is a lot darker than the manga version, in my opinion.
Right. Well, what I was trying to say is, like, Dragon Ball Z has a lot of dark moments. I mean, when the series starts, freaking Goku dies. On top of that, Goku Vegeta show up, everybody dies. And then,
but that's not when the series starts.
Remember that. Well, I was referring to just Dragon Ball Z. The actual reference was just Dragon Ball Z. And the point I was trying to make is Dragon Ball Super is about to get dark, hopefully, with this next arc, and that's what I'm kind of excited about. But the question here is well, one thing I'll first say is, again, we have full confirmation that this is the exact same Trunks that showed up on the Cell Saga in Dragon Ball Z. It's the same one.
Yeah, as much as it is weird to some, and I totally understand people's having questions, it's the same guy. I mean, even in the next episode preview, he said it was the same guy.
Yeah, it's the same person. And initially, had it been main Trunks, then there's a lot of questions that we can answer ourselves, like, oh, well, he probably met Mai because, you know, Battle of Gods. He's probably a lot stronger now because he probably had a chance to train with his dad and all that stuff. All that is thrown out the window. At this point now, we have no clue what happened in the times of peace, or I guess the times of when Cell was killed in the future, and what happened next. I mean, the big question a lot of people always had is, did they have a Kid Buu moment or Majin Buu moment in the future? I don't know.
Well, I did a video called "Does Majin Buu Exist in the Future?" Go check it out on my channel, and I actually break down every possibility of whether or not Buu existed in Trunks' timeline.
Plug. Remind me to add that in the description before I post this video.
Add that in the description.
Yeah, but the point is there's a lot of questions now that, number one, we know aren't going to get answered because this is Dragon Ball after all. And they always love to just toss out stuff without answering it. But at the same time, it's like there's so many questions where it's like, what's going on?
The big one is, you know, obviously it's a different timeline. We know that. But the big one, I think, is who is this Black or Goku Black? What is this character? What is this creature? Because it looks like a creature based on the next episode preview. Not just that, but where did he come from and why? Here's the one that's kind of been fucking with me is, why does this creature exist in Trunks' future, and yet we've seen no mention of it at all in the regular timeline? Like, what kind of differences were made in that timeline to make that creature appear versus the regular timeline? I wonder what that could be, and I'm really hoping we get a good answer on that. I really hope that they put their ducks in a row when it comes to the storytelling for this arc, because if not, it's going to bug me. I'm not going to lie.
The biggest question is the strength. Power scaling differences now. Obviously, in Dragon Ball Super, power scaling has been kind of a joke, but like, now it's especially going to be a joke unless they can explain like how strong everybody is in the future. Because like, comparing Trunks from when he left the Cell Saga to the characters today,
he wasn't even SS2.
Yeah, it was completely different powers. So like, this new black guy, or this Goku Black, this dude named Black, whatever the hell,
this demonic creature thing. Yeah.
That guy. He's got to be at least on the power of both Goku and Vegeta, as well as probably the gods. Otherwise, it would make sense for Trunks to go back in time and get help because, like,
well, not just that, but in the press release they said that the Gods of Destruction and the Omni King are involved in this arc somehow. So that tells me that either this is a twisted version of them, or something serious has to be the case if they're going to get involved. Is what you're talking about.
Do you have that press release, the most recent one, about what Goku says or what Black says?
I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I wish you would have told me before we started recording.
I just remembered it because he said I finally hunted you down, Saiyan, or something like that.
Yeah, that was the new one. Yeah, he said that. I finally found you, Saiyan. Yeah, which Saiyans don't call themselves Saiyan. So this thing's obviously not a Saiyan. And it goes back to one of my theories I had when this thing was first announced. This Goku Black might not even be anything at all with Goku. It might be a demonic being that takes the shape of Goku. Now, if you go through different like historical texts and different spiritual beliefs, right? There are, the Muslims believe in like jinns, and then of course the Christians believe in like demons. So throughout history, there's been like different kind of examples of this, right? Could it be possible that this Black is actually like a demonic being that can take the form of Goku? You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that because I was about to say I'm sticking to the idea that he's a Makaioshin, and a Makaioshin is the equivalent to the drama universe to demons.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, and on top of that, Toriyama in the past has always said so many times that he would love to like expand on the Makaioshin story, and what better way to do it than to do it this way? So,
I mean, for all we know, it could be possible that. This is just me throwing an idea out there. What if the reason why this thing exists in the future is because Lord Beerus is still asleep? Maybe the only reason the Makaioshin have not attacked in the regular timeline is because Lord Beerus is awake. Maybe in the future, because Lord Beerus is I'm just saying maybe, he's still asleep. Maybe this guy's like, okay, I'm gonna fuck shit up because Lord Beerus is asleep, or I'm just saying it's possible,
What about a complete opposite spectrum of what you just said? But what if this guy actually is the God of Destruction of the future?
Why would it be a different God of Destruction in the timeline versus Beerus?
Something
else would have to happen.
I mean, this is Toriyama and Dragon Ball we're talking about, man.
I know. And I do want to clarify one thing, all right? Let's get this clear also for all the people listening.
Sure.
The timelines are not other universes.
Yes.
We got to make that clear.
Yes, I'm glad he said that.
Yeah, I got a video on my channel dropping this week explaining that. The timelines all exist within Universe 7, and they're basically pocket universes. They're pocket timelines, but they're not like... Universe 3 is not Trunks' future. That's not how it works. It's a totally different
universe. 4 is not GT. Let me just toss it out there.
No, it's not. Not as far as we know.
But to go on to basically what I said is the reason why I said, what if this guy actually is a God of Destruction of the future is something that I found really weird to me is if there is a future Beerus. I can't fathom the fact that I feel like as a God of Destruction, it should only be one. And that's across timelines too.
So you think that Beerus can cross through all the timelines?
I mean, they can cross dimensions and go into other universes, so I don't see... On top of that, Whis can technically go through time, too. He can rewind time.
Whis can do anything.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised if each timeline has its own God Destruction. So it's not just per universe basis, but per time, too. Because, like, the idea of two Beeruses existing is weird to me, and I'm going to call it right now. I don't think there is a future Beerus. I think it's someone else.
Well, maybe you're right. I mean, once again, what this would do, though, is it would expand the God hierarchy. You know what I mean? It would expand it. But I think the theory of it being a Makaioshin makes the most sense. I mean, we've seen the Potara that he's wearing. It's green. We're not going to do a whole video about just that, but, like other people did. But no, we know the whole thing with, like, his sinister look and the black, like, demonic kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying earlier about the whole Jin's thing and how, certain different faiths believe in this stuff. I have been reading, too, that, and The Conjuring's coming out this week, so that might actually give us some clarity, too. The movie The Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Demons can manifest into things that we find familiar. Like, if you read demonology, demons can become, like, like your dead grandmother. It's not really your grandmother. It's a demon posing as that. So what if Goku Black is a demon posing as Goku? It would make sense.
I mean,
Who is praised more than Goku,
I will stick more to the story that this is a Makaioshin than a God of Destruction, only because if it was a God of Destruction, he wouldn't be hunting down Trunks. He would just blow up planet Earth and that's it. So,
yeah, this thing
probably toss that out the window.
It seems to get enjoyment in destruction. It seems.
Yeah, so it's got to be Makaioshin.
Unless it's a brand new thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
there's one more question I want to answer in this video before we end it, but the question I'm asking you guys is, number one, like I said, any questions you have, feel free to drop in the comment section below to see what the community is asking about. And two, what is your ultimate theory as to what this Goku Black is? Is he a Makaioshin, is he a God of Destruction, or is he something completely different? Like, Feel free to drop your own ideas and speculations in the comment section below. Now, the last thing I want to answer, because this is a big question, and I know you're going to do a whole separate video on this, is the blue hair. Do you want to explain that?
Well, the only thing I really have to say about that is, number one, we may or may not find out, but just remember that Trunks' hair has never really been consistent. Now, the thing is, the vast majority of Dragon Ball fans have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'll educate here on those who don't know, because I'm sure some people don't know. When Dragon Ball was first coming out in Shonen Jump in Japan, talk about the original run in the 80s before it got put into volumes, Trunks' hair changed color a lot. Now, it is by default purple, but there are a few panels where Toriyama drew Trunks' hair as blue, and the most famous one is red, the red-haired buff Trunks, yes. And that was, of course, if you go out and you pick up the full-color volumes, which we don't have those yet. We don't have the Trunks ones yet, but we do have the Frieza ones.
You see it on the screen. You see it on the screen.
You should see it on the screen, yeah. But if you go out now and you pick up the full-color volumes, the Japanese ones, or whenever we get the Viz ones, which will be hopefully next year for the Cell Saga, they fixed it. So if you buy the full-color ones, Trunks' hair is purple and his SS transformation is gold. But when I'm talking about the original Shonen Jump run, the colors were all jacked up. So yeah. I'm just saying, I don't think people should lose sleep over him having blue hair.
And
I've
honestly,
heard all kinds of theories. Did you hear the theory about how some people think that Bulma dies in the episode and he dyes his hair in a tribute to her? Like, there's some wacky theories out there, bro.
I mean, he might have dyed his hair. Who knows? They might explain. They might not, honestly. But
his eyebrows are also blue.
It's not that big of a deal, honestly.
It's just not. No, it's not.
And honestly, I love this sword art or the sword Trunks design a lot better than his other one. So I'm okay with it, honestly. Like, I'll say that.
It's not a big deal. But my big question that I actually wanted to toss out there is the timeline. Because what I'm curious about is it makes it seem like these events take place right after, like, the last time we saw Future Trunks, which is when he fought Cell, or shortly after. But in the press release, I said it was 17 years into the future, or 19 years from the current day. So it would be age 797, because age 780 is where we're at right now in Dragon Ball Super.
Right.
So my question is, what happened in between that time period? Like, what happened in those 19 years from when Cell left, or I'm sorry, from when Trunks arrived back in the future to now? Like, that's what needs to be explained more, is what happened in the future during those mystery years, and how did Trunks and Mai end up I guess being friends or whatever, and why is Mai not older? See, that's the other question we've been getting. Why does Mai look so young? But why
there's no Dragon Balls in the future too, unless somehow they manage to find them. My only problem with the whole theory of going to Namek is that even Goku struggled finding Namek on King Kai's planet. So Bulma's smart, but with the lack of technology that she might have in the future, I honestly don't think she could have done it.
No, I think the honest answer, honestly, because if you look at the preview of Bulma, she also doesn't look older. It's that Toei and Toriyama are not drawing these characters to look older than they actually are. That's what it is. But I'm
just saying in general, with the whole idea of him going to Namek and finding the Dragon Balls, it just seems very unlikely.
No, I don't think that's the case either, because I mean, it is somewhat of an inconsistency of the way she looks, but I think it's more of an art inconsistency than a story one. That's what I think. I think people are looking way too much into it. I don't think that it should be a huge deal either. And you know what? People were confused saying that, it was Kid Trunks and not Future Trunks. I get the confusion. I don't blame them for that. And it's because of this. It's because of the art being so inconsistent. I think that it is Mai. She is old, but she doesn't look so old because the artists don't draw her old. I don't know why that is, but I could be wrong. Who knows?
Geek them. You know what? We'll find out on Saturday.
Yes, it's right around the corner.
Yeah. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that should wrap up the big questions we have about the Future Trunks arc that's happening in a couple of days. So if you're hyped for that series to start or to get dark and get really intense, make sure you leave a like right below. And do not forget to ask the questions. Number one, what is your biggest questions about, or biggest question, one question, or if you want to do several ones, feel free to do that as well. But biggest questions you have about the current arc. And two, what's your best theory as to what you think this Goku Black is? Is he a Kaioshin, a god of destruction, or is he just some random guy that went rogue one day? Farmer Goku got pissed and decided to shoot everybody up. Let us know your best theories in the comment section below. Also, check out Geektoon's video on the whole Future Trunks versus Kid Buu stuff. Is there Majin Buu in the future? He'll break all that down.
Dragon Ball In-Depth 19. Yeah, and also this week, again, cheap plug, I'm doing Trunks content. I'll be doing a video explaining the history of Xenoverse Trunks. He has his own story. And I will explain time travel. So definitely check that out, because there's
I can't believe you didn't have me on that video.
Which
I know
one?
my Dragon Ball Online stuff really well.
Well, it was a 6-minute short little quickie video. I mean, we'll do a longer one if you want later on.
Possibly. Depends on what the people want. With
Yeah.
that said, folks, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Geekdom and Rhymestyle. We'll see you guys in the comment section below.
Bye.